Hey everyone, T Rob here with Biz Pulse. And this is the first episode of my new show here on Discourse Syndicate. So excited and just like it's an honor to be honest with you. And what this show's all about is about getting inside of a business and learning more about the people that are actually putting all the work in. Because a lot of times we see all these great platforms, these great projects, and we don't talk about the people that are grinding and making it happen. So we have a great guest today. She is involved in so many things in our community, and I'm just excited to have her. And looks like we've got a lot of people that are jumping in already, and we'll go through that. But real quick, I just wanted to bring on my first guest, an amazing entrepreneur, again, like hexagon on steroids, type things. She's everywhere, and I'll have her talk about what she does and all that. But everyone, welcome BeHex. I think you're muted. Let me unmute you there.
I was still muted, wasn't I?
There you go. All good.
Hi, Hexicans. Hi. Glad to be here. Super excited. This is my first one-on-one live stream. So this should be fun.
Well, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for jumping on with me. I saw kind of you and like, man, looks like she's involved in so many things. And it really fits kind of what Biz Pulse is about. It's about, talking to people like you that are actually putting in the work in and not just talking about projects. So thank you for all you do. And I just love to get to know, you better, of who you are and what you're all about. So yeah, if you want to take it away and kind of tell us, what your background is. I know you're like an entrepreneur. You've got 1,000 different things you do. So let's talk about it.
Sure. I don't know how far you want me to go back. I mean, I feel like I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, so I could take it back as far as my childhood, if you wanted me to. But no, my mom was an entrepreneur. She actually designed Christmas trees for Nordstrom's. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the big Christmas trees in malls and different things like that. She did that. She also did something called traveling with church conventions, where from city to city during the summertime, we would go and we would set up these tents and we would sell t-shirts, sell clothes, sell different things at these religious conferences. So traveling and moving around a lot is definitely not outside of my wheelhouse. And so I know a lot of people ask me like, how did you end up on the road traveling for 6 months? Like, didn't that scare you? Aren't you, nervous about leaving your family? And I was like, if you understood my background and the type of lifestyle that I've always been used to, then you know that was like the perfect opportunity for me. Just professionally, I have my degree in business marketing / sports administration. I have a dual bachelor's from the University of Houston. Then when I graduated from the University of Houston, I moved back home to San Diego, California, where I decided to work for the church's school. My grandfather is a pastor. And this is schools that he built himself. He was an architect before he became a pastor, and he decided that the church needed schools. And so back in 1983, when I was, a baby in my mom's belly, this is, when he brought these schools to life. And so when I was graduating college, I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, and I wanted to, give her the same type of foundation that I had. And so I brought her to these schools. Unfortunately, I did not love the administration and the organization, the structure that it had at that time. They had gone through a lot of changes. And so I decided, even though that was not at all my background as far as my schooling, I decided that if I was going to put my daughter in the care of this school, then I needed to be more involved. And so I took a position in the administration department where I helped grow the schools from very, very small enrollment back to a sustainable enrollment. And I did that for 15 years.
Wow.
15 years. I spent not only dealing with the administration side as far as enrolling parents and students in that, but I also headed all special events. So I've done huge harvest festivals like Halloween events. I've done mega Christmas Winter Wonderland events. I've done what do you call it, performances,
Okay.
like skits and big theatrical type things.
Sure.
So event planning and working with people and delegating tasks is just something that I've done for a long time. And It wasn't until COVID hit that it was the first time in the 15 years that I worked in education that I was a little nervous for my future, for my family's future. I This was the first time that the school, our enrollment since I had started, had gone down low. And if it wasn't for those PPP loans, we were nervous. We were nervous that we were going to close our doors forever and never reopen. And that is when my husband and I both say, we better we better get serious about finding additional options, other
Sure.
means of bringing in income. And so I had always dibbled and dabbled in travel, had my IATA number or whatnot. And so I had started kind of getting back into that. But it's COVID, so like how much can I rely on a travel secondary income when like half the world is shut
Yeah.
down? So then you start getting into stocks. I have a little brother who's like, oh, you got to do options. You gotta make the money this way. And my husband's like, no, no, no. We knew about Bitcoin. Like, this is the time to get back into that. So he got really deep back into crypto, and then I kind of went into the stocks, lane for a little bit in that early part of COVID. And when we compared his portfolio and my portfolio after that DeFi summer, it was a wash. Like legacy markets, it was just like, no, thank you. Let's see what this crypto is talking about. And then we found Richard Hart, and
Yeah.
then it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that. I knew
That's cool.
that this was, especially as a mom, and I've talked to other ladies about this. The thing I think that appeals to us ladies, as far as Hex compared to the other cryptos, is the staking, right? Is the idea of delaying gratification, time locking that money, and coming back to it. That's something that women notoriously we do. We are savers. The beginning of the year comes up.
Yeah.
You might get those taxes back.
My wife does that for me, so I understand.
You're like, okay, we have to plan for Christmas. We have to plan for the kids'
Right.
birthday, and we don't let you guys touch that money. They're
That's
like,
right.
that's the safe money, and it's there. And before Big Payday happened, I read a lot about what was going on. I watched a ton of YouTube videos. That's why I love Huddle Dog and Crypto Coffee, the guys that really just
Oh
like
yeah.
keep it
Yeah.
simple for you. And so I watched all these videos, and I was like, especially with Big Payday, that security that even if the price goes down by half, the fact that I'm getting this many more hex, that gives me a security that I'll never receive in Bitcoin, in the stock market, in anything else. And
Right.
so, hey, Casey. And so that's what we did. We threw, all of our money in there. Christmas was scratched as far as the other family members. I said, I'm not buying any more jackets, toys, purses, anything like that. Everybody's getting Christmas steaks.
Oh man, that's the best.
I hope you like it. I hope that you watch it on your staker and then you realize that this is the way to go. And so that was the start of something special. And the more we embrace the community, we went to that first meetup in Las Vegas. I couldn't engage and participate as much as we wanted to because we brought our kids. And a lot of the activities, were a lot more for adults.
Yeah.
We bought T-shirts. We were giving away T-shirts. Every person just randomly walking around hotels, just like, you want a free shirt,
So
and this is before like people, even Hexicans, are like wearing
right, yeah.
you know?
So let's talk about that. I mean,
Yeah.
where did you come up with that idea? I mean, you guys just like, hey, we're gonna do T-shirts and start
I think
handing
it,
them out,
it kind
or
of stemmed from my husband. When I met him, he was a rapper. When we were in
okay.
college, that's kind of where the name comes, or 100% where the name comes from. When I met him, people either called him KC or they called him Black. Those are his initials, KC.
Okay.
And so he would go by Black KC. And so, when he got into crypto, he said, well, I'm going to keep my same name, Black KC Crypto. I said, oh, well, I'm your wife. I see a lot of people kind of like husband and wives,
Yeah.
kind of piggybacking off their names. I said, well, you might be crypto, but I'm Hex. So I'll be Black Hexkin, you be Black
Oh, I got
Crypto,
you. I got you.
and that's what it is. But yeah, so he was a rapper, when I met him. But when we started having children and getting serious about our lives, he focused on it. We both focused on education, and the music just took a back seat. It became something that he just did for himself.
Right.
And as we got into Hex, I'm listening to his music and I'm hearing that the lyrics have a lot more to do with Hex than, his old lyrics that were just about living life and, family, love, all kinds of things like that. But now his lyrics are like strongly, concerned with Hex. And
Yeah.
so that first song, I just loved it so much. That's what got me on Twitter. I was like, everyone needs to hear this song. I'm going to blast it all over Twitter. I'm going to tag everybody that I know, in it. And so it was, and this song still has not been released, but then his second song, it was from the song, Let's Talk About Sex, Baby, right? And he
hmm
changed it from the sex to the Hex. So it was Let's Talk About
Oh
Hex,
yeah, I saw that one.
right?
Yeah,
And so
that's
I
cool.
love that so much that I was like, oh, I want that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And so we went to go buy T-shirts for like the family. And when we looked at the price of just doing like a large bulk order, I mean, like all my family members are Hexicans. I was like, I might as well just buy, a large amount of them and give them to all the family. But it turned into something much bigger. It turned into, giving them away in Vegas. I couldn't give away enough. So I brought them on the road tour and we gave them away, for like the first half of the tour.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So looks like we got some folks in here. I know you probably recognize some of them.
Yeah.
Thank all you guys for jumping in. Please like and share this thing. And we're talking to BeHex, and she is telling us her life story of all the crazy, great things she's done. So with in regards to Hex, I know your background is in event planning, and I've done the same. I've done a lot of bigger events, so I know the work is just intense.
Mm-hmm.
And it normally is like you gather some volunteers, and there's like 3 of them that really work, and the rest of them, are just there. So I get it. So what made you like with your new project, Hex Meetups,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where did that come from? What is your role in that, and what does that look like? What are you trying to do with it?
So I guess it kind of stemmed out of necessity. The first tour, we partnered with freedomtv.info.
Mm-hmm.
And so for every workshop, every meetup that we had, we posted on freedomtv.info. People would RSVP. We'd know how to get in contact with them if things change. And so when the first tour ended, Crypto Sparkle and myself, we did decide that we wanted to continue to work together, continue to do events. We actually are preparing to do the PulseChain tour. We're calling it the Million Pulse Tour because we have some Hexicans that have already committed to give away millions of Hex at every workshop. Or Hex, not Hex. That would be wonderful.
I was
Million
about to say, okay, I'm in.
That would be absolutely wonderful. But no, we are giving away millions of polls, which I mean is still amazing to be
Yeah.
able to give that away. And so, in the process of us not being able to 100% say that our tour can start on this day because we won't start before we have launch, although Richard has been, kind of throwing some
Ooh, I'm
language
hoping
out
so.
there
I'm hoping so.
that it might be approaching soon. But just knowing that we for sure will not start this tour until we have launch. We don't want that to slow us down from being able to do other Hex meetups. And so
Gotcha.
we had planned to do some more family type meetups. I cannot do another tour. I will not do another tour without my entire family. I need them with me. And so I wanted to have some events for Hexicans that involve the whole family. I know during the
Oh, that's cool.
summertime, a lot of times people go to theme parks. I typically take my kids to at least one. And so we had talked about doing a meetup at Universal Studios Hollywood. And so I said, well, how am I going to get this information out now that, I can't post it on Freedom TV anymore? Like, what do we do? And so I
Yeah.
said, well, it's a meetup. Let's Hex Meetups, .com. Let's just, and
Mm,
then we started getting invited to so many things by so many other Hexicans. I mean, Hex Texas is amazing. They
yeah.
have their Telegram group. They're always organizing things. I mean, we were just there maybe like two stops before our final stop in Austin. And they're like, hey, you guys got to come back. South by Southwest is coming, so then we did that.
Yeah.
Now they have Float Fest that's coming up in Texas as
I
well.
saw that.
And so I
I'm
just
in
want
Texas
there to be
myself, so
yeah, I just wanted there to be a platform for
yeah.
Hexicans. If you guys are going to get together, if we're going to get together, then let there be a central place that we could get this information. And I
Yeah.
know most of the time people look for things, by two categories. Either it's by time, like this month I want to do something, or it's by location. So I have it separated. I have the calendar that shows you what's happening this month
Well,
nationally, and
let
then
me
you can
pull
also.
that up. Let me pull that up and we can kind of look at it and show everybody what you're talking about. Bear with me just a second. And I don't know which one's better. Let's see here. All right, so hexmeetups.com. And I kind of want to look through it and you can talk us through it. So I see you have all the countries here, which is really
Uh,
cool.
Yeah, so right now it's just USA because that's where I am, and then my crypto Sparkle guys, they're from Europe, Germany, and Austria, and so when they get back home, they're going to be, maybe engaged in some meetups. So I wanted to make sure there was a place for them. If other
Okay.
countries have a representative that they want to send us some information about meetups that they have going on, I'll gladly put them on there as well. But I just started with places that we already have some things going on. So if you go to US, you'll see that not all the states are there, but all these states already have something in
Well,
the works.
that's really cool. I mean, you've got 5 states already, and this is a neat idea of bringing something under one roof that like you have a calendar of a list of your events.
Mhm.
I just love it. I mean, like we needed this, and it's really cool to see. And I know it took a lot of work. And there's the cruise, huh? Yeah. So
Yeah. This was a meetup that we had in North Dallas area. Just a Texican that just said, "Hey, come out to our house. You guys are, around, and we'll invite everybody." And I want to say like 40 or 50 people, just showed up.
that's
So it was great.
great.
There's a discount code now for Hex merch on the site. That's a
Good
partnership
here.
that we are building as we go on this road tour. We're going to be doing Hex merch pop-up shops. They have some of the best merch, especially
Yeah, I'm
these
I'm
new
wearing their
bags.
hat
I'm
and their
like,
shirt.
I'm
Yeah.
like addicted to their new luggage. I'm like, my husband's gonna be so mad when he sees them still. But
Oops.
I love what they have, and so we're traveling around anyway. I said, hey guys, why don't you send a truck of merch on the road with us, and let's bring the people what they want.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So, one thing I was looking on here and I'm like, I see this Hex Cruise 2023. What the
Yeah.
heck is this about?
Yes. So while I was at the conference, the Hex conference, there was a individual. His name is Shill. He goes by Shillit Online, and he
Okay.
brought this idea to me. His idea was to do a big Hex festival, and he said, but he wanted to do it on a cruise boat, something like a Groove Cruise, right, where you do
Hmm.
a full boat charter. You have this huge, mega awesome event. And I would love to do that. I would love to be able to get there. But I feel like we have to start, a little bit smaller and stair step our way there before we can just say, here's 2,000 people on a boat. But I did love the idea. I love that cruises, as opposed to being in a city, everybody is so divided, right? Some
Right.
people stayed at Excalibur, some people stayed at Cosmo MGM. Everybody was just all over the place, and it was not necessarily easy to bring everybody back to one place. For the conference, I planned a couple dinners, but I felt awful the day of, when people were still, calling and texting like, "Hey, I really like to come," and they couldn't accommodate anymore. So
Ah,
cruise, it just eliminates all that stress. Everyone can dine together. Everyone can hang out at the pool together. Everybody can do everything. And so we're looking at next year in April, doing a cruise, just a 4-day cruise to the Bahamas, but to allow it to be a Mexican social networking event as well, to where we can bring our ideas together. We can do like some mind meld sessions, or
yeah.
different breakout rooms, or a lot of different ideas. We have a whole year to plan. So I'm looking for some people that are interested to help me plan this out. I have a great relationship with the cruise line that we're working with, to where we'll be able to continue to sell rooms until it's sold out.
Okay.
And so to hold your room, I want to say it's like $100 deposit. It's completely refundable deposit. And the final payment for the cruise is not due until like 120 days before the cruise.
Okay.
So that
So
gives us
so April 24th through the
to
28th.
the 28th.
Okay.
Hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so pretty soon the Hex Cruise website will be coming out. Well, you'll be able to see all the different room types, all the different pricing, and for the most part, it's matched pretty closely with the Royal Caribbean site. It is a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Okay.
The only difference is that you would want to book with us so that you could be a part of the group. The group will have special privileges that you wouldn't have access to if you were just to book it directly. We'll have
Okay.
like a private cocktail hour, and some other benefits that, depending on how large our group size grows, that they will give to our
Sure.
group.
Sure. So with you saying, I mean, like this is one of your many projects. I mean, so give people feedback on, like, Hex meetups. There's all this, you have 5 states right now. You're working on a cruise, which I know you're kind of a travel expert, so it's probably a little easier. But I mean, a day, a life of in your shoes, what does it look like? I mean, what does it look like to do all this?
And we haven't even started with Crypto Sparkle and what I do for those guys. But no, I mean, when you do what you love, when you're doing it for passion, all these things are coming from my mind. No one is saying, "Hey, do this at this time." Right?
Sure.
These are things that I want to do myself. Right? I want to go to Universal Studios with my family, so why not organize it to where it can be the best experience for everybody, and everybody can come and make it easy. I
Right.
would probably go on a cruise with my family. The real hard work for me is probably more of the tour management, planning those cities, planning those venues. I have had some Hexicans reach out to me, saying that they're with me. They're gonna ride with me. They're gonna help me
That's good.
plan this thing out. They're going to be there the whole steps. Avid is, I don't know if you know Avid, but he is, let put it in his words, the best Mexican ever. And
Hey,
I
I
can't
don't know.
say
There's a
that,
lot of people that have told me that. So
I can't say that he's wrong. I don't know, where the voting,
Yeah,
line
yeah,
where
we're gonna have to
all
do
the
we're gonna have to do a
factors
poll
are
on
that
that.
you have to go through to get that title. But he just breathes energy and love for Hex that it's kind of contagious.
Yeah,
He makes you want to step up your game. So it's a lot, but I love it, and it's
yeah,
something that I'm able to do with my entire family. So that makes it worthwhile. I don't feel like it's one of those jobs where I spend 80 hours in the hospital or working somewhere else, and then I feel like I'm missing out on time with my family.
right.
The time that I put into all these ventures is really just to improve the family time.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that to me, that's what it's all about is families first, and the rest of this is kind of fun.
Mhm.
But I want to jump in just the chats real quick because we got a lot of people in here that I missed a lot because I'm a new guy. So DJ Pollywood, uh,
Yeah.
what's up?
Polly was
Uh,
on the tour with us. Hey, Polly.
Sandy Beach. Um, I'm just looking through here. Here he is again. Uh, we have about 29 people in right now, which is great.
That's awesome.
Uh, Mayo, what's happening? Thanks for joining. And I missed a bunch up top here. So, um, Nick, yes, please share this out and hit the like button, please. And thank you very much. So we're talking to BeHex tonight about all the great things she's involved in and doing. She is, I mean, she wears a lot of hats, but incredible event planner. Obviously, just talking about a cruise that's coming up that for our community, which is going to be really cool. But hexmeetups.com is a great site that they've launched that's just like, you can go there and find, like, if you want to go somewhere and do it to an event, they're going to have it on there. And the big thing that I want to say, because I know I've done this kind of stuff myself, is that she needs help. So, and I'm speaking for her right now, but I know that it takes a lot to do what you do. And we appreciate that, but people reach out to her.
Yeah.
Where can they reach out to you at?
Twitter is awesome. You can either type Black Hexkin or my actual @ is just being black. Make sure it's the K before the C. Or on Telegram. On Telegram, it's Let's Talk About Hex. I'm probably the worst person in the community with being consistent with my names on different platforms. But yeah, you can message me on Telegram or Twitter, and I will definitely respond. I'm active on both of those platforms.
So when you say you need help, what like immediately, like what could somebody do right now to help you?
So number one, and I think that this is going to be really important for the Pulse tour, is
Mhm.
to be a ambassador in your local community. The Hex Texas group or the Mexican group. I'm sorry, I'm like totally throwing that off. But even on I love what they do so much that even on hexmeetups.com on the Texas page, I have a link to their page, because that is a great way to be able to notify people locally when an event is coming to your city. Being me here or someone else there, we might not be able to plan all the logistics of the event, that one that's not in your town,
Mhm.
but you can definitely help me plan the one that I'm coming to your city for. And if you can begin to create these Telegram groups that focus on individual cities or individual states, then that'll help us get the message out so much faster, and more efficiently when it is time to promote the different events.
Cool.
Yeah, I would love to see there be a California Hex group and a New York Hex group, and everywhere should have a Hex group that tells you what's going on. Have local meetings, right?
Right.
Like the
Right.
like the Bitcoin groups and those different coins do, where they have like quarterly or monthly meetings, especially with the launch of PulseChain coming. There are so many. I was listening to my husband today, just like go crazy over all these different pools and these different ways to stay
Oh
and
yeah.
all the different options. And it's so easy to get lost, and then to feel frustrated if you don't get it. For
Right.
some people, they just get it and then they explain it like everybody else gets it too. And that's not always the case. But a lot of times, when you have access to be able to learn from someone local, people learn in all different ways. Some people do learn real easy from YouTube videos. Some people need to reach out and talk to somebody and say, hey, can you show me what I'm doing wrong right here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
help me
For
fix it
sure.
that way. And
Yeah.
so my ultimate goal is to build real life connections in every city. I would like to see there be large, booming Hex communities.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that just shows your heart right there. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that'll talk the talk, but they never do anything, you know. So, but it's funny because when we launched Hex Community Jobs, we had people kind of say, "Hey, you should make it more of a kind of a meetup." And
Mm.
then I saw yours, so I'm like, "Oh, good." So we're gonna add a link on ours to kind of go over to you guys as well, where like, hey, go over to Hex Meetups and you can
Yeah,
figure out
yeah, for
where everybody's
sure.
at. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna put you guys on Hex Meetups as well. That's
no,
what it's
thank you.
about, cross
Yeah,
promoting.
yeah, for
We
sure.
all are here for the same purpose. Like I don't make any money off Hex Meetups. I've spent money on Hex Meetups. We're all just doing this to, at the end of the day, pump our own bags, right? Like
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
just want to see Hex get out there to everybody because we know that the impact that it can have on generations to come, in our
right.
own
Yeah,
community.
and I think what I mean, maybe some realize it or, but there's so many people outside of our little community that have no clue of even what crypto is. And people,
Hmm.
I'm a simple, straightforward guy, and I explain it to people in more of a country setting, because you can hear how I talk. But it's just like, but if you watch some of the videos and stuff right now, it's just over people's heads. They're like, "What the heck does that mean?" So I
Hmm.
love people like you. They're just like simplifying it with like, "Hey, come to an event and let us
Hmm.
show you. Let it meet people that are doing it that can tell you how they're doing it because everyone's doing it differently. There's so many
Yeah.
different options to it. But the one cool thing about RH projects is most of them are very simple, and you do well. I mean, that's the truth. So it's pretty simple to explain if people just listen. But so Pittsburgh Hexicans are starting to organize meetups. That's cool.
Yep.
So
Dr. Bone Juice.
yeah, very cool. Um, Exciting times, Junior USMC.
I have to apologize if you guys can hear that. I hear my kids running up and down the stairs right now.
Oh, that's okay. It's a family show. Who cares, you know?
Right? I'm like, I keep looking behind, just waiting for one of them to come flying down those stairs.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you about is, I mean, you mentioned earlier is about just like women in the community, and I'm seeing more and more, but I still feel like there's such a big void there.
Yeah.
That and you guys bring so much. I'll be honest, more than we do. I mean, honestly, I mean, you probably can outwork any of us. So, I mean, how do you see like maybe how do we grow that? I mean, how do you see that growing?
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Please stop. Please don't. So Hex is actually, to me, already doing what it's supposed to be doing in growing women in crypto. I want to say it was Nerd just recently posted a video at a Bitcoin conference, and she scanned the entire room, and I didn't see one woman in that entire space. I mean, now she's making a video, so that's one, but another woman I did not see. I mean, if you see the Hex conference, pictures from the Hex conference, we were out there. We
Yeah.
were blowing up the space. And a lot of it, it does stem from our husbands. It is a lot of wives and girlfriends, but it's that time, like it's that delayed gratification that women just seem to understand and are gravitating towards. I mean, I'm probably a part of at least 3 or 4 different chats, ladies involved in Hex or ladies involved in Pulse. And so we're doing the work. We're bringing
Yeah.
our girlfriends in. We're organizing new streams. I don't know if you've noticed that on Discourse's lady show with Sammy, she's had a record. It's so many women that you need 2 hours. You need a couple of different shows
Oh, I
because
know.
there's
It's
so many
awesome.
new women
Yeah.
coming in.
It's amazing.
There's a lady, and I hate that I can't think of her name because she does amazing work. She's doing the Hex News broadcast now,
Okay.
and I think that that's absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay in Albany, New York, is doing shows, and that's what's happening on Twitter. I'm seeing different girls say, "Hey, I got invited to do this podcast." And I'm going on here. So that's what happens. You feel more and more comfortable with the message that you're putting out, that you finally say, okay, even though I hate seeing myself on camera, but if you hear it enough times, hey, you could really help out the community. You really have information that can be shared in a way that reaches a different demographic. Then you have to come outside your comfort zone a little and put yourself out there to do that. And that's happening every day with the ladies community, especially.
For sure. I like this one. Putting the Hex Pulse word out in the Toledo, Ohio region. Bitcoin miner in our neighborhood. I'm working on. Awesome, man. That's great. Sandy Beach. Another Ohio. Wow.
Get that group going. I want
Yeah.
the Ohio Hexicans,
There you go.
Pittsburgh Hexicans, all of them. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing that I heard earlier was that you were planning more family type events, and I really like that because I'm a family guy myself, and I feel like with that you're going to pull more women in as well into because typically it's like a guy thing, and then all of a sudden we have the families, and then like my wife currently is like she's really learning crypto and Hex, and she's really getting into it, and it's really cool to see. And then she's telling her friends, and it's just I just feel like if you invite families, it's going to grow rapidly. Our community is going to really explode. It's just really cool to see.
Absolutely. I mean, we started the Hex tour doing meetups in bars, and yeah, I mean, people like to have a drink and come out and socialize. But if you have a baby or an 8-year-old and you see that it's at a bar, you're kind of like, okay, well, that's not for me, even though I'm a Hexcan and I probably prefer to go to a meetup over a workshop. And so my idea is to do more outdoor meetups. If we can get the tour started earlier in June, like we want to, if we have launch, then we'll do meetups at beaches, at parks. We'll bring out the big tents, and we're hoping to get a RV wrapped for this tour, to where we can, serve food outside and really just, make it a every time you're with Hexicans, it feels like a family reunion, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome because I feel like our community is that way anyway. It's like one big family, and it's funny because we had a little bit of bickering going on, but to me it was just like, everyone has that in their family, and the bigger we get, the we're gonna have those kind of things. It doesn't mean that person's any, it is what it is. Everybody's got the right to their opinions.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I see a lot of the infighting, but I also get to see a lot of the things that I wish they would show that part online as well, when they do have those face-to-face meetings, right? And then they say, hey, look, it might have got a little too far online, but this is where I was coming from. And then the other person said, this is where I'm coming from. And then they agree that, it's all love, and then they hug it out and move on. Because that is, and it's the same in real families. You see real families fight online because sometimes, you know, it just that's the way that you act out. You feel it
Yeah.
in your heart and you're like, I need to let it out. You
Yep.
know, but at the end of the day, we have enough in common and we have enough like minds in this community that none of it is bigger than the ultimate goal.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's to create generational wealth for all of our families.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, that's, it's nice to think about that, because sometimes I think that we get caught up in this game of, I don't know. I mean, doing shows and thinking all this and that, but what is the real outcome you're trying to get to,
Mhm.
and for me, it's to make a, have a, just to, like you said, wealth for my family for the rest of my family's existence. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why I'm doing it. Um, but I'm learning. I mean, I'm not an OG. I still work a full-time job, so to me, I'm just doing this because I enjoy it and meeting cool people like you. So, um,
Yeah.
here,
We're all gonna get there.
oh, I
We're-
know. Yeah. It just takes time.
It just takes time.
Crypto Surfer 369. Thanks for everything you do, BeHex, for this community. Thank you
Thank
for being
you.
on here.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. DB Cooper, I agree with you. Definitely. We got, let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get it. I mean, like, everyone's talking about that right now, Crypto Surfer. And I'm gonna let everybody else talk about it. Yeah, I mean, more or less, we want to talk about inside of, working of what you've got going on, and I'm listening, and if you have other stuff you want to talk about, I mean, I guess one thing I would ask you is, for someone new into like this crazy world, like this Hexagon community, what would you say to them? Like, if it, like, look back on day one for you, like
Mhm.
right now, if somebody's like, okay, like, even like you mentioned early, Crypto Coffee, I mean, who do you recommend they watch? Because I watch those people too, because I'm trying to learn as well. But
Mhm.
just give these new people something that is of value, I guess.
Um, it definitely depends on what it is you're trying to learn. But to me, I do like to keep it pretty simple. And although I love pretty much all the different platforms, like I love Cabana Show,
Hmm.
you know, his Hangout or whatnot. A lot of those shows tend to be for the already
Yeah.
Hexagon because they've been in it so long. They don't a lot of times revisit those issues, realizing that you have a lot of people that are entering every day, you know, every
Yeah.
day, and they're just picking up the conversation, you know, from where it left off. And so I can really appreciate, like I said, the huddle dogs, the crypto coffees, especially when it comes to PulseChain, K4K.
Yeah.
He has really digestible material, and he's really easy to understand. Um, for German communities, Crypto Sparkle, they're right here. Patrick is probably one of the most knowledgeable people that I have ever met, especially when it comes to talking about the hex code and really talking deep into um, the protocols and different things like that. But if you're really new, I would definitely stick more towards the crypto coffees and the hodl dogs.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice. I mean,
Mhm.
it's all up to people's, I guess, personalities too, of who they relate with. I mean, I watch,
It is. It
like, I
is.
subscribe to, like, I don't know, so many, and I'll just kind of go and look, and some of them, I mean, honestly, are over the top of my head. I'm just like, I can't get this right now, because
Mhm.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world anyway, so I don't
There
pretend
you
to be. But I really love listening, because I feel like every time you jump on somebody's stream, you get some little something, that you
go.
can use
Mhm.
or take. And
Yeah.
when we launched the Hex Community Jobs, it was kind of one of those things where we're like, we're going to use this to onboard people that
Mhm.
are coming in looking for work or wanting to post their skills, going, what the heck is Hex?
Yeah.
And
And I love it because I often need contract work, right?
Mhm.
Especially building Hex Meetups and with the Pulse Chain Tour, we use a lot of graphic designers. I am also looking for content creators as far as a new videographer who would be willing to travel and go on the road. And I want to employ Hexicans. I feel like no one understands the tasks and the goals of what we're trying to accomplish unless you're in it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so I had, when I needed the graphic designer, I put a message out on Twitter and I put Hexican graphic designer, but the bots do not care
Oh, I
about that
know.
at all. And I think I might have got like 80 comments that day.
Yeah.
I've probably never got 80 comments on a post,
Yeah.
but that day I got every random, graphic designer like, hey, can I, do this work for you? And then I had to go back and said, keyword, Hexican, right? If you can't tell me what a Hexican is, then like I have no interest. And so that's what I love about your platform so much, is because the more people learn about it and know, that they can, either whether you can put your skills on there,
Sure.
or the position that you're looking to fill on there, Hexicans will come to this site and say, hey, look, this is something that I can do. And I want to support Hexicans, right? Because I know at the end of the day that this is the ecosystem that keeps growing because we keep the money here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, people don't understand. It's like Hex is not even viral yet.
Right.
I mean, it's the opportunity. We're still on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And every platform, everything that you do, everybody else is doing these little things that are just going to be massive in the future. And
Massive.
but like, I would love for you to post all your stuff on our site. I mean, it's free, and we would love to have you on there for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all the jobs on there.
Thank you so
Just
much.
a little perspective, just to show like where we are in this. Yesterday, a friend of mine from Pittsburgh, Justin, he posted a screenshot of our staker app. Yesterday, we had 88,888 stakers, right?
Wow.
I made a business card back in August of last year, and I put the number of stakers that we had in August. And in August, we had, I believe, I'd have to go back and look, but I want to say it was like 48,000 stakers. Right? So and that was in August, what we had not quite been 2 years in the Hex, and there was 49,000. Now we're just a little over 2 years, and we're at 88,000. So just imagine, that growth in just 7-8 months. Like, imagine where we are another year from now, and to think about how small even 100,000 is, to the entire financial ecosystem. Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean,
imagine what it'll look like when we have 1 million stakers.
I get goosebumps just thinking about that.
Yeah.
So with let's just talk about PulseChain. Let's talk about PulseX and all that, and kind of, I always try to get people's feedback on it. Like, what's your plan? What do you think? What are you gonna do? What's your plan on it?
Oh man, I mean, me and my husband, we probably have debates and go back and forth about this every day. I think that's probably one of the best things about a Richard Hart product is his desire to make it perfect. So this testnet 2B is awesome because it feels like the real thing, right? And it allows you to make the mistakes now as opposed to later when it's your actual money. I don't know. I sacrifice big for Pulse. I sacrifice even bigger for PulseX. I am a pre-big payday Hexican. So I have a lot of opportunities.
Good.
And that's, that's really all I can say. I'm interested in doing some staking to receive some of those PRT and incentive tokens.
Sure.
So I'll definitely be doing that. And I'll be looking for dips, because it's not like this is going to happen and then I'm just done. Like, I just have all the money that I need and I can just retire and be finished. I'm still going to be looking to increase my portfolio. So I'm still going to hold. I think that the people that don't rush out of Pulse fast, right, that get that first wick up, the people that hold 2-3 years will not have to worry about money ever again. So that's my goal, is just to stay consistent, keep adding to the system, for the next few years, and take it out gradually.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I mean, that's a good strategy for people. I like the way you think. That's good. Yeah, you know what? We always talk about people that kind of bought Bitcoin at like what, 30 cents or whatever, and then they at 100 they sold, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, why did I do that?" So it's kind
yeah.
of like it's a toss up. I mean, I can see it both ways. I mean, it's hard
Mhm.
when you see the income that you could make and not like, do I want to touch that or not? So, but that's a great thing about staking and just kind of letting it be. Try to forget about it and let it just work for you. And it's
Yeah.
always hard for people. But let's see here. Let's get some.
Either way, you can't go wrong, right?
Man, ain't that the truth? That is the truth. Thank you, Richard.
Right.
Let's see. So, if any of you in the chat have a question for BeHex or myself, I don't care. Feel free to type it out here, and we will get some answered. If I know the answer, if I don't, I'll make up an answer. No, I'm kidding. But we've got 32 in right now, which is cool. And this is BIZ Pulse on Discord Syndicate. I'm talking to BeHex from, I would say just Hex Meetups, but it's like from a million different things. So yeah, she's into everything. So, but any questions out there, throw them my way, and we will try to get you answered. Solid. I like that. So with
How was Naga's party?
what's that?
I saw a question that says, "How was Naga's party in Vegas?"
Oh, I can't answer that one, but you probably can.
It was amazing. I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, Naga knows how to throw a party. Let me tell you that. He had the red carpet pulled out. I mean, the performers were amazing. The hexagon stage, the PulseChain dancers. I mean, it was great. If Naga throws another party, I strongly encourage you to attend.
uh, let's see. What do we got? We got hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do we got here? What is that?
Full tour.
Okay. All right. I was confused. Nice shirt, BeHex. Where you get it?
Actually, I have been rocking these guys' shirts so much. I love their shirts. I think it's on the back. Can you see it? What does it say?
How to pulse.
It's the How to Pulse guys. Walrus, I know he's on Twitter. You can get in contact with him. But they made a bunch of shirts for our workshop in Austin, Texas, and they brought shirts out to the community, gave away a bunch of them. And this the Hex logo with the pulse is actually, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's hard to get it in there. Is my tattoo.
Okay.
So I love this shirt.
Yeah, I like that. I like the design. That's cool.
Yeah. So I might have to do the gradient on my arm, but yeah, that's my tattoo. So I love it.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see here. What do we got? What kind of liquidity pairs would you favor?
Cool. See, that's when I have to go and get my husband.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of an opinion thing, and I don't even know if I want to start answering that. I mean, a lot of it has opinion of what you're holding as well. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's a tough one to answer, and I don't even want to get started on that one. I'm going to skip that. Sorry. Let's see. New comments. It was special. Thanks. You got it. DB Cooper, thank you for being on here. Tip of the spear.
Head drawn closer, die. The people want to know, right? That's all they ever want to know.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do your own research.
That's right. That's right. Great. We're not financial advisors by any means. So you do your own thing. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. I will agree with you on that. Probably be the most liquid for sure, and definitely will have the most volume. So that kind of answers the other question.
Those are my guys.
Thank you for answering the other question.
Yeah, my guys always got my back.
uh, let's see. Anybody else got any questions for Miss BeHex here? So the next event, what is the next event? What do we got coming up?
So I will not be able to attend this one, but there will be a ton of Hexkins there. If you are close to Alabama, this will be the Hex Cars. I don't want to say final appearance, because who knows what the future holds with that Agape Hex. You know, we might have a full season. But for sure, the number 55 car will be racing at Talladega with JJ Yuli, the driver, again. And so I know, I mean, I don't want to say for sure who's all going, but I do know that there will be a lot of Hexkins there. I know that some RVs are being rented in the what is it called? Is it Inner Circle? I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, there is a Talladega group on Telegram. So if you're interested in that, I would follow Agape Hex on Twitter, and then he can get you plugged into that group. But I also have on Hex Meetups the information and then a link back to. A matter of fact, there might even be a link to that Telegram group on Hex Meetups. If not, I'll add it tonight.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Got some more questions on, more of stuff that how often to harvest the PRT. I mean, that is definitely each and everybody. I mean, everyone's different. There's no like, I mean, we could probably line up at 10 people and they'd probably tell you something different on that. So I'm not even going to throw anything out there on that one.
Here's an interesting one. It says, what should we do with the Hex R8? So there's been some discussions amongst our team about what we should do with the Hex R8. Do we take it around the country again? Do we get a different supercar and wrap it? Do we wrap just a PulseChain car, since this is the Pulse Tour? And so there's a lot of things going out. So I'd love to hear from the community. We've talked about maybe possibly auctioning the Hex car off.
Oh, that'd be
If
cool.
there are some interested buyers out there that would like to have the official Hex Tour R8, then maybe get in contact with us, because that may be something that happens in the next couple months.
Cool.
R8 auction.
Yeah, if you want the R8, you better get at her for sure. I mean, or I'll take it off your hands. I mean, yeah, I'll drive it around and show it off. I'm in Texas. It's a big state.
Well, I'm in California, so I think I can handle it if nobody wants to take it off our hands.
Oh yeah. That's a good problem to have, huh?
Yeah.
Any news on the highest of stakes, Doc?
I did hear that they're wrapping production this month. I do know that they want to have it out sometime in like the fall, I believe.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I know.
That's all I've heard too. And I don't even think I've heard the fall, so I don't even know what month that falls on. But
I don't think they even have a month yet.
It's definitely getting closer for sure. I can't wait for that to come out. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
R8 auction. What do you guys think? Auction? Give to
I'll buy it after PulseChain launches. I like that comment.
Oh man. When's the I think we just talked about that, didn't we? When's the next meetup?
Talladega. I would say the next one is the next one that Crypto Sparkle, our team, is hosting, would be Universal Studios in July. Unless we have launch, then our tour will tentatively start in mid-June.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
there's a big day where I'm from in San Diego. I mean, it's big nationally. It just got accepted as a real holiday. I want to say last year, Juneteenth.
Oh
It's
yeah.
actually June 19th. In San Diego, though, our area code is 619. So it has dual impact in the
Okay.
community. It's 619 Day and
Oh,
Juneteenth.
that's really cool. That's
Yeah, it's
really
like
cool.
a dual celebration. It's
Yeah.
like events and things going on everywhere. And so, being that that's where I'm from, I do plan on having some type of meetup or being at some large event to do mass promo on 619 Day. So that would be like the official launch of the next tour. Even if we can't start the tour, we'll probably still do some kind of meetup in June in San Diego.
Cool.
Yeah.
You heard it. Probably something in June in San Diego, beautiful San Diego. I'll buy it after that. We already saw that one. Well, BeHex, we're coming into, we're already at an hour. So what else do you have for us? You got any other thoughts you want to throw out there before we get off?
No, I appreciate you for providing this platform. This was my first time doing anything like this. So you made it very easy and comfortable for me. You have great questions and you have great energy and a great smile.
Oh, thank you.
So I appreciate you inviting me on because I don't think that it could have been this easy with anybody else.
Well,
Um,
you're welcome anytime. I mean, if you want to jump on and co-host, I'm ready. So you, you just jump on here.
maybe once or twice, but like you said, I got a pretty packed
Yeah,
schedule.
you got a few things going on, right?
Yeah. So,
Well,
but no, I don't want to, keep you too much longer, especially since I kind of dropped the ball on charging my laptop, so I'm down to about 5%.
oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll let you go. How can people get in touch with you?
Still, Twitter, Telegram, Twitter, Black Hex again, BLAKC, and then Telegram. Let's talk about Hex.
And I'll add all that in the stuff here on our video where guys can go back and look at it.
Yes,
But thank you so much, Big X. Have a great night. It was
yes, you
really
too.
nice to meet you, and we got to get together again soon.
Yes, I'll be
Take
in
care.
Texas. My husband's from Dallas.
Hey, hook, give me a call. We'll meet up.
All
See you
right.
later. Have a good
You
night.
guys. Good night.
All right, that was BeHex. What an incredible lady, involved in so many different things. Hex Meetups, of course, as that's a great website, guys. It's one that you really need to go bookmark. And if you're part of this community, it's a place where you can go and see what's coming up. She's going to be steady adding new events. If you're in an area where you want to start putting events together, reach out to her and go for it. I mean, that's what this community is all about. That's what we need. But I hope you enjoyed us tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please like it, share it. And I am so excited. I'm T Rob with BIZ Pulse. Thank you. Signing off. Have a great night, everyone.